Hey, what's up, everybody, man? This is Heavy Chevy, my very first video. Um, I think I'm gonna try to keep this up as far as doing Dallas Cowboys content. So my official thoughts on the hire of Mike Zimmer. I actually like it. He was my number one pick, and the only reason why he was my number one pick because his defense would be a lot simpler to run. Um, if this is going to be Mike McCarthy last year, then you can have him to run the defense because, like I said, it's going to be a lot simpler. That double A uh, gap package that he would like to run, double A gap, it's going to cause a lot of stress on opposing offenses, um, especially if you have, you know, let's just say if he used Micah and linebacker, which I'm probably sure he will use him kind of like he did with Anthony Barr. Just imagine him using Micah in a double A package. Kind of like what Dan Quinn did at times with Micah. Most of Micah's sacks this year came from A and B gaps. Go back and look at it, most of them he did. He had, 14 for the season? Probably about 8 of those came from the A and B gaps. So, uh, yeah, Zimmer like to run the 4-3, even though I would like the 3-4, but like I said earlier, Zimmer uh, defense would be a lot simpler. He liked big D tackles. He actually liked big defensive ends, 270, 280 defensive ends. He can run 3-4. Some of the film that I did watch, he ran 3-4. But preferably the 4-3 he gonna run. He like to use 2 linebackers even if they go nickel. Um, the safeties, they're gonna play in the box. They're gonna cover. Uh, Not as much communication needed, kind of like in a Rich Ryan defense. Rich Ryan defense, your back end has to communicate. In the Rich Ryan defense, they have to communicate because they'll play a lot of like zone man coverage, meaning like if they in a zone, they'll carry that man that's in that zone until they get to another zone. You have to communicate in that defense heavily. But with Zimmer, from what I watch, you don't have to communicate as much as far as what are you going to do. Yes, you still have to communicate, but it won't be as, I say, as difficult. Um, he like to do a lot of press man. That's one thing I know. We already a good man cover defense. So that double A package that he like to run, he can run in many different ways. Even John Gruden said that. He makes quarterbacks, whether they're young or old, they're going to have to hold on to the ball because you don't know what's coming. You don't know somebody coming from the A gap, B gap, C. You don't know if they coming corner blitz, safety blitz. You really wouldn't know, especially when they give you that look. Everybody can drop in the coverage. You have 7, 8 drop in the coverage. You can have 6, 7 people coming, 8 people coming. You just don't know. So that's one thing I kind of like about his defense. Like I said, a lot simpler. It makes sense. He's a no-nonsense guy. He's not going to try to be your friend. He's going to be your coach. So that's one thing I like. He always been the same, even when he was in Dallas for the last Super Bowl run. Um, so I think that's what the defense needs as far as somebody that's going to hold them accountable, like literally hold them accountable. And to be able to have defense. Now, don't expect the defense to be, how can I put it, spectacular within the first few weeks. They're going to get off to a rough start, kind of like with the offense. Offense, it really wasn't a rough start per se this past season. Within the first 5, 6 weeks, really wasn't, how can I put it, a rough start. But once they get it, man, it's going to be Run defense, I look forward to it being at least top 7, top 8 run defense because, like I said, he's going to have big defensive ends. He's going to get a big defensive tackle. He's probably going to put Michael at linebacker if he does to do that double A gap packages. Um, Probably going to get an edge rusher if Fowler doesn't come back. Sam Williams probably going to get a lot of more playing time. Uh, Izzy McCormick probably going to get a lot of playing time because he can play multiple positions in the secondary. Gilly wants to come back, so he should sign Gilly back. Man, it's just it's going to be a lot that I'm looking forward to for this defense for this year. Hopefully, man, we can make it past what the first round, second round, get to the NFC Championship. But this defense should really be able to stop opposing offenses when needed. That's what I'm really going to be looking for. Can the defense stop opposing offenses when needed? And in my opinion, Mike Zimmer always had a good deep run, especially good run defense. So that's what I'm be looking forward to. Y'all can comment, share, and see what y'all think about the new hire of Mike Zimmer on defense coordinator for Dallas Cowboys. Like I said, it's Heavy Chevy. I will be doing more of these and probably other things. You also can look me up at Heavy Chevy on YouTube, Heavy Chevy on X, formerly known as Twitter. All right, peace.